Yo, what's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another NASCAR discussion video. This is a race recap for the Xfinity Series at Charlotte. This was a fantastic race all in all, and we're going to be covering every part of it. But wow, what a race. I mean, cautions at the end, the great battles up front, pretty much the entire race. The only negative, Kyle Busch continues to win in the Xfinity Series. I absolutely hate it. We're going to get into that first after I go through the rest of this information. But it just sucks that Kyle Busch is in the Xfinity Series. But a really, really exciting race. Kyle Busch won both stages, ended up winning the race. The final restart in overtime was fantastic. There was a lot of crashes, a lot of good battles, like I said. It was pretty much everything a NASCAR fan and a new fan would love to see. So if you're new to NASCAR, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Or if you're just new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more NASCAR content. But so let's just talk about this. So I hate Kyle Busch in the Xfinity Series. And if you're a Kyle Busch fan, maybe you wanna click off the video. Maybe you want to hear what I have to say. But I'm sure you've heard the argument before. Kyle Busch should not be in the Xfinity Series. It is absolutely stupid that you have a guy of that caliber in a lower level series. I mean, think about it this way. Kyle Busch has 97 Xfinity wins. He has 9 wins at Charlotte, over 1,400 laps led. I mean, that sounds like he's a really good racer, right? Because he is. In the Cup Series, if you're new to NASCAR and you don't know who Kyle Busch is, he's one of the most polarizing drivers, if not the most polarizing driver in NASCAR. He's very aggressive. He's very good. But he's a Cup driver. He's one of the best in the series, and he continues to race in a lower level. If you don't know the series, Trucks, Xfinity is the middle level, and then the Cups is the highest level. And for those of you who do know that, you know that Kyle Busch also races in the two lower series, the Trucks and the Xfinity Series. So this really makes me upset because you should not have a guy of that caliber racing against guys who are trying to make a name for themselves, who are trying to, do well for a sponsorship, for getting into the Cup Series, for whatever reason. And I'm not saying that Kyle Busch is unbeatable. We saw it last week with Chase Briscoe. We almost saw it tonight. I'm not saying that Kyle Busch is unbeatable, but I'm saying that it makes it so much unfairer. Is that a word? Makes it so much less fun to watch if you're going to know that Kyle Busch is going to compete, if he's going to win. So let's break this down. Kyle Busch won the race, won the first 2 stages, and the first 2 stages were really, really good. I mean, Ross Chastain is a Cup guy. He races some Cup Series, and you've got other guys in there like Chase Briscoe. He's going to be a Cup driver. You've got who else? I saw some names earlier. Timmy Hill. Who else? I know I've seen some other Cup drivers, but you get the point. I mean, Justin Allgaier was even in there. Hemrick, of course, he races in the Cup Series now. So you've got Cup drivers, but they're not to Kyle Busch's level. I mean, that's like having Tom Brady, Mike Trout, Barry Bonds playing in high school. That's how good Kyle Busch is compared to this competition, and he's going to win all the time. But, the first couple of series or stages were really good when number 4, 4th place finisher Ross Chastain, number 10, he held Kyle Busch off for the most part. I mean, for the first half of stage 1, he led every lap, really gave Kyle Busch a battle. In stage 2, he did it again. Kyle Busch even gave him the bumper a couple times, said, hey, stop doing that. But ultimately, it didn't matter because Kyle Busch just has the best equipment possible. I'm not exactly sure how that works. Maybe you guys can let me know. I'm not too familiar with the Xfinity Series compared to the Cup Series, but what does Kyle Busch get from the Cup Series? Is it anything? Does he get any equipment, engines, motors, transmission? I don't know. Anything that would help him. The Cup crew, is it all the same? Is it all different? I'm not 100% sure, but it's still Kyle Busch with the experience of being in the Cup Series for 16 years. I could go on all night about that, but point being that Kyle Busch should not be racing. And I can touch on that a little bit at the end too. But let's continue about this race. So the first 2 stages were really good. Like I said, it was action all night long. And especially in stage 3, the last 50 laps were insane. You had cautions almost every 5 to 10 laps just because of how aggressive these guys were. And you're going to see this tomorrow in the Trucks with even being a shorter race. Of course, the Trucks don't race as long as the Cup cars or even the Xfinity cars. So a shorter race. You've also got the Cup Series on Wednesday, shorter race. You're going to have this kind of excitement and this action and aggressiveness all race long. It's not 600 miles. I was going to say 600 laps, but it's not. It's like 220 laps. I don't know what came to my mind there, but the point being, it's going to be a lot shorter race. You're going to see a lot more action. You're going to see a lot more intensity from everybody, and it's going to play a factor in how many laps there are. So you've got these last 50 laps, and there's caution. It was really exciting. Let's start from lap 50. So the green flag pit stops are going on, and then you have problems. Kyle Busch speeding on pit road. He seems to get a speeding penalty once a week, but I thought he was out of the race at that point. Not really, because I'm like, it's Kyle Busch, and there's still 50 laps to go. But I was like, yes, penalty. He's going to have to come back through. He's going to lose a lap. He's going to be in trouble. Ultimately, yes, he was, but then he kept getting cautions, and he kept getting back in the field and more restarts and everything, so it didn't really help. But you've also got guys like Chastain and Timmy Hill who exploded. Chastain went into the wall. Briscoe went into the wall. Their nights were hurt because of it, so that really hurt their chances. Briscoe was up front all night. Chastain was up front all night, and he ultimately got back up to the front, but, of course, that hurt him for a little while there in the middle part of stage 3. Green flag pit stops are fun to watch. And then it was just caution after caution after caution. In fact, with about was this the 3 laps to go? There was a big crash. Noah Gragson, who was running in the top 2 in the final restart in regulation, was holding off Cindric and Kyle Busch. Those 2 guys up front were holding off Kyle Busch very well. And, it was just a matter of time until Kyle Busch got up there. But, for the most part, in those last couple of laps, they were doing their job. But then it was a big crash as Gragson got loose, went up into the 19 car. Who was the 19 again? It is Brandon Jones. That's right. Brandon Jones hit the wall, and then the 44 and the 11 of Justin Haley, the 44 of Tommy Joe Martins. Those 2 guys hit the wall hard. I mean, you saw it in the thumbnail. That was crazy. And he just T-boned the wall, spun around. It was a hard hit. I mean, that's similar like Danica Patrick at like Daytona a couple of years ago, when she just went right into the wall. But that was a hard hit. Very, very scary. And Haley came out of the car. He was shaken up a little bit, maybe got the wind knocked out of him, kind of like Boyer did last night. It was a great crash. I mean, like, it was exciting, but also very scary, since that these guys are obviously, I mean, they're safe, but things still happen, and that's you should go watch it. Let's just put it that way. Go watch it. Very crazy. And that gave Cindric the lead with overtime. So 2 laps to go. Gragson had fallen back then. It was, who was it? It was Hemrick. Not Gragson again. Hemrick. Cindric was in the lead. Allgaier was up there. Chastain was up there as well. And Cindric got loose with 1 lap to go, and allowed Kyle Busch to take the lead and ultimately get the win. And you knew it was going to happen. I mean, if you didn't know it was going to happen, what are you doing? Because it's Kyle Busch. But, it was a great race. Like I said, it was a great race. I wish Cindric would have been able to hold him on. He got loose trying to drive the wheels off the thing. You can't blame him. When you got Kyle Busch in your rearview mirror, it's going to be really hard to stop him. So, it was a really, really great race. And the final things on just Kyle Busch, I mean, I want to know what you guys think. Like I said, I think it's like Mike Trout playing in the minor leagues, or even, high school. It's just like, you got to do something about it, because other drivers have done it in the past. Brad Keselowski, Joey Logano. I mean, I'm sure there's others that have raced in the Xfinity Series, and they had success, of course, because they're NASCAR drivers in a Cup Series who are going down to a lower level. But then you got Kyle Busch, who continues to do it, and he's going to be in the Truck Series tomorrow. It's like he continues to do it. NASCAR, I mean, I can't say it's bad, because he makes them more competitive, maybe. I mean, maybe that's the only argument. But he continues to win, and it's just like every time I see a race with Kyle Busch in it, that's not the Cup Series, I'm like, all right, he's going to get top 3. I mean, he started 18th and was up to 3rd before the top 20, before the 20th lap. I mean, what is that? So, overall, a great race. I'll go through the standings here. Let me know what you guys think about Kyle Busch. But he got first. He won the race. 97, of course, like I said. Hemrick got second 6 times. I don't know how many you could say he's been second to Kyle Busch. Probably a couple of times. Hemrick, like I said, a Cup driver who really has done well in the Xfinity Series, but he is still an Xfinity driver, really, because he's not quite to that Cup level. But you get what I'm saying, I'm sure. So Cindric gets 3rd, Chastain 4th, Allgaier 5th, Moffitt 6th, Annette 7th, Brown 8th, Brandon Brown 8th, Harrison Burton 9th, and Matt Snyder rounds out the top 10. So that's all I got for you guys today. What a race it was, though, and I hope the truck race is exciting, too. But, man, I hope Kyle Busch does not win. So, anyways, that's all I got for you guys today. It's just a long ramble about Kyle Busch, and I can keep going on about it. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you want more NASCAR content, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time. Bye.